Middle School, located in Hudson, Wisconsin.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hannah Sutherland.
I am Belle Blakey.
I'm Charlotte Stowe.
And I am Madeline Pashy.
And together we are a team called
The STEM Sisters. We are Project Lead the Way students from Hudson Middle School in Hudson, Wisconsin.
Our school has had the Project Lead the Way Gateway to Technology program for 6 years now.
At our school, all students in 6th and 7th grade are required to take a Project Lead the Way class, but in 8th grade it's considered an elective.
Also, in 8th grade, our teacher, Mr. Christopher De Leon, gives Project Lead the Way students the opportunity to participate in an extracurricular STEM competition club. In this club, students must find a real-world problem and use their knowledge from Project Lead the Way classes, such as the design process, to solve that problem. They will then submit their solution to a STEM competition of some kind.
This is not theoretical work. Students must find a real solution to a real problem. Students have to use all of the design process steps, which include researching the problem, building a prototype, collecting data by testing their prototype, and finally summarizing it all in a report.
Participation is voluntary. We usually work during lunch and our study hall time.
We would like to share a quick history of the Hudson Middle School's STEM Competition Club. Over just the last 6 years, since we have been a Project Lead the Way school, club members have won over $31,000 in trips, savings bonds, cash, and other honors.
Students have presented their projects to NASA engineers and scientists, senators, industry professionals, and students all over the world.
What is extra cool is that almost all, actually all but one team, have been girls.
Through participating in the STEM competition club, Hudson Middle School 8th grade female engineers have really had a chance to shine.
Just last year, a team of 4 girls won $8,000 for a project that reduced nitrates in our drinking water. The year before, a team of only 2 girls won over $11,000 in cash and prizes for a project that took pharmaceuticals out of our lakes and rivers.
Besides those 2 projects, some of the other projects that Hudson Middle School's Project Lead the Way students have worked on include designing a water purification system to be used on the moon by NASA, created a free bike program for our community, and even developed a way to test rockets indoors due to inclement weather.
This year, our team, the STEM Sisters, decided to enter a STEM competition that wanted us to focus on how light affects sleep. We decided to focus on how blue light from our electronic devices, such as cell phones, tablets, and laptops, has on our sleep.
One of the options for the competition was to develop an awareness campaign that would educate members of our community about those potentially harmful effects.
While brainstorming ideas to create the optimal amount of awareness, it just so happened that the blockbuster movie The Martian was in theaters and creating all kinds of media buzz. So we decided to piggyback our project on all that media hype to create the most awareness.
What we came up with was our Weekend on Mars project. Our team decided that we would spend a weekend on Mars, educating as many people as possible about the harmful effects of blue light.
Well, sort of. Mars is quite far. It's about 6 to 8 months away by rocket, and Mr. De Leon's classroom budget would be a few $100 million short. So we decided to bring Mars to the school.
Using plastic sheeting from our local home improvement store, packaging tape, PVC pipe, and a fan, we built an inflatable Martian habitat, or HAB, right here in our school.
We had a living space, 2 sleeping quarters, and a connecting tunnel that linked the 2 sleeping quarters together.
When we were done with our construction, we had almost 850 square feet of living space, and that's bigger than some apartments.
Oh, and by the way, when we say weekend, we mean weekend. Our team entered the HAB on a Friday morning and did not come out until Sunday morning. We ate, slept, and did homework in the HAB.
We did come out to use the restroom, though.
So in case you're wondering, yes, that means we actually spent an entire weekend at school working on a project and really loved it.
We'd love to give you a tour of our HAB.
So this is our HAB. And you can kind of see this is our door here, and it's made out of PVC pipe. And we kind of have 2 layers so that the air can escape easily. And then the next layer is clipped together. So over here we have our sleeping quarters, which is where we work most of the day because it's all dark. So we're only exposed to red light when we're in there. And then come through here. You can kind of see an opening right here, and it's our connecting tube to the second sleeping quarters. And then we have the sleeping quarters where majority of us were today. And then over here is where we keep all of our food, and you can see that we just kind of have packed stuff and bottles of water. And then over here is our workstation where we
Say hi.
put everything together.
Hi.
So yeah, this is the STEM Sisters tab.
We can tell you firsthand by applying what we have learned from our Project Lead the Way classes to a real-life problem, it really helps answer that age-long question of when are we ever going to use this in real life? Because we can see firsthand that those skills are directly applicable to a real-world problem in a real-world setting.
Our project also attracted the attention of NASA. We spoke to NASA's educational specialist and a NASA engineer at NASA's Marshall Flight Center who was studying the same thing we were. It turns out that if NASA were to send people to Mars, that they would be exposed to sunlight constantly for their entire trip. So NASA is looking into designing a space vehicle with the ability to control the amount of and type of light that the astronauts would be exposed to.
Even former astronaut and current director of Kennedy Space Center, Bob Cabanas, spoke with us at length after taking interest in our project.
We are also fortunate to speak with Emily Calandrelli of Fox's Exploration Outer Space program, and also had our project discussed twice on Minneapolis-St. Paul's largest radio station, 101.3 KDWB. Here's an audio clip.
Didn't you do something with STEM, science, technology?
Yeah, I talked to the STEM sisters this weekend.
What's the STEM sisters?
Well, they go to Hudson Middle School, and they have a great program there because they have girls in these competitions every year. They do well, they place stuff. So these girls, they were doing a project to see how, I'm going to get it wrong because they're smarter than I am and they're in 8th grade. But basically, like how blue light and red light stuff affects you, and like with your cell phone.
Okay, sure.
And so they went to Mars. They built Mars, and it was really cool because I FaceTimed them on Friday, and they gave me a tour of Mars and what their plans were. And they'd already talked to someone from NASA on FaceTime earlier that day. So I was like, well, I'm sorry you got me. Good God, I don't know how to.
When you have a structure that big, you can't help but draw attention of the entire school and then some. While we were on mission, we spoke to students in our middle school, elementary schools in our district, students from schools around our state, and even had students in New Hampshire, Arizona, and Texas following us on social media.
We don't know what the results are yet from our entry into the STEM competition. Those results will not be out until April, but the experience we have had and what we have learned is really priceless.
Someday, you may hear about a real human mission to Mars.
Notice how she said human mission, not manned mission.
Because when that day happens, it may be women leading the way.
And maybe, just maybe, those women will be the
STEM Sisters. Thank you.
We would like to introduce a man whose unique career path and interests inspire others to think about taking a unique route in their own careers. He challenges the idea of what it means to be a football player and what it means to be a mathematician.
John Urschel is an offensive lineman for the Baltimore Ravens. He was drafted by the Ravens in the 5th round of the 2014 FNL draft. He played college football at Penn State. He has a bachelor's and master's degree from Penn State in mathematics and is currently pursuing a PhD in mathematics from MIT. He recently co-authored a paper in the Journal of Computational Mathematics called A Cascaded Multigrid Algorithm for Commuting the Fiedler Vector of Graphing Lopathians.
Urshel once said, "Football really speaks to this competitive side of me, whereas mathematics speaks to this side of me where I'm really curious and want to know why." Please welcome John Urshel to the stage.
How is everyone?